we hit 30,000 subscribers on the channel, and for that we're going to be doing a 30k special election prediction. Make sure to hit the like button and to subscribe for more content just like this if you're new to the channel. And so, looking at the safe Republican states, we have Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, Montana, the Dakotas, as well as Nebraska's third, the 1st congressional district, and the at-large vote. The state of Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia, Missouri in the safe Republican column. For the safe Democrat states, we have the states of California, state of Oregon, Washington. We also have the state of Hawaii, including Illinois, New York, Vermont, Massachusetts, Maryland, D.C., Rhode Island, and Connecticut, as well as Maine's 1st congressional district, putting that in the safe Democrat column, which leaves the Republicans with 113 safe electoral college votes to Harris's 164 safe electoral college votes. Looking at the likely Republican states, Donald Trump is going to improve in the states of Iowa and Ohio from the last cycle, as well as looking at South Carolina gaining a couple of points there, including winning Florida by 7 to 8 points, as well as winning Texas by 6 to 7 points. All of these states except Florida were in the likely column in the last cycle. Donald Trump gaining slightly with white and Hispanic voters are going to help him in these states in the long run and will more than likely give him improvements in these states. Looking at Texas and Florida, more than likely Miami-Dade and the southern Texas border are going to push the states further to the right than what they were in the last cycle. Alaska is also in the likely column with a very similar margin to the previous election, suggesting that the state's actually going to trend to the left. Looking at Colorado in the likely column, about a 14-point victory for Harris. This is the only Democrat state in the nation where Harris is actually going to improve in, showing that the state is trending very, very hard to the left ever since the early 2000s and will continue to do so this cycle. New Mexico is around a 6 to 7 point victory for Kamala Harris, despite Donald Trump gaining in with Hispanic voters. Albuquerque is going to be pushed to the left due to white liberals moving towards Kamala Harris. Looking at the states of New Jersey and Delaware, Delaware's around a 14-point win for Harris, showing a 5-point loss from Joe Biden's last margin, as well as New Jersey being around a 13-point win, showing a 3 to 4 point gain for Donald Trump in this state. Looking at Virginia, we have about an 8 to 9 point victory in the state, as well as New Hampshire and Maine at large being 6-point wins. Maine's 2nd congressional district is about a 10/11 point victory for Donald Trump in this forecast, with Minnesota being in the likely Democrat column as well. More than likely, Harris will hold her ground in Hennepin County, where Minneapolis is, while Donald Trump gains slightly in rural counties in Minnesota. This leaves the 7 traditional swing states, plus Nebraska 2nd in the toss-up category. Right now, I believe that Nevada will be going in the lean Republican column for Donald Trump by 2 to 3 points. He actually slightly gained in Nevada in 2020 by literally a fraction of a decimal. He was able to kind of make grounds in rural areas and actually gain a little bit in Clark County, which helped him kind of reverse state trends, moving to the left, while Washoe actually moved more Democrat. And I expect Donald Trump to get pretty close in Clark County. This is definitely going to push the state for him as of right now. So that puts the state in the 2 to 3 point column for Donald Trump. Arizona is also going to be in that same margin. I do believe Donald Trump is going to improve in Maricopa County. I believe he will flip it back by about 2 to 3 points, which will move the state to the right. And he will gain in Greenlee, Graham, as well as Yuma, places he's already been gaining in. And more than likely, the southern border is definitely going to have inflated Trump support due to illegal immigration being a top issue this cycle. Looking at Georgia, I believe it's going to be about a 2 to 3 point win for Donald Trump as well. The Sun Belt's kind of going to vote together. North Carolina about 3 to 4 points. I think Donald Trump in Georgia will probably, do a little bit better in Atlanta and will kind of improve in some of the rural counties there. So I think that's where he's going to be able to get his strength from. North Carolina, the same thing. He's going to improve in the exurban areas as well. A lot of the polling that shows the race close here What's very interesting about this is that they actually released a voter map of how they polled North Carolina and Georgia, and funny enough, there's like barely any rural voters being polled at all. And funny enough, the reason why Trump is actually leading the latest New York Times slash in a college poll in Georgia is actually because he's literally gaining in the exurban areas of Atlanta, like the outer suburban areas of Atlanta are actually getting super red, and that's one of the only reasons why he's even leading the Georgia poll, despite there being barely any voters being polled in the rural areas. So that's also pretty interesting. North Carolina, it's the same issue. They ignore a lot of exurban areas outside, these big city areas in North Carolina. So a 3 to 4 point victory, I think, is on the horizon there. Nebraska second. This district did vote for Biden by about 7 points. Even though Donald Trump and Harris will probably be in for a tied popular vote, I still think more than likely this district is going to lean in the Democrat column by about 2 to 3 points. Wisconsin and Pennsylvania will both be in the lean Republican column. In this forecast, Donald Trump probably wins Wisconsin by 3. He will more than likely gain in the driftless area and kind of hold his own in the WOW counties, as well as improving in other places statewide. So that's going to be an interesting state to watch. I think Donald Trump is probably going to perform very well in Philadelphia. I think he'll gain a couple points here. He'll flip back Bucks, flip back Centric County, more than likely flip back Erie County as well, and continue to gain in rural Pennsylvania, giving him a huge upper advantage in the state. In Michigan, Donald Trump, this is a hard one because I think there are some white suburban voters shifting to Harris. And, just because this is a 30K subscriber election, prediction, I guess we'll put it in the tilt Republican column for Trump, but it is going to be a 50-50 state. I do think more than likely Trump will gain in rural areas, and Harris will probably gain in some of the suburban areas, but will lose in the major city areas. So that's actually going to be pretty interesting to see how this one goes down. I'd say it could go either way, but we'll give it tilt to Trump in this video. So right now, Donald Trump with 312 electoral college votes to Harris with 226. Make sure to hit the like button and to subscribe for more content just like this, and I will see you guys in the next video.